I ask why you're sleeping on the floor?
Good Aspen! Good morn, Miho, to you.
Hi, papaya everyone! How y'all doing? Sorry for the delay, I was eating food. And also, I was having a nice conversation with my twin. Sorry for the delay. I got busy talking to the twin. We love her. She's great. I'm learning things. I've learned things. I have a shopping list. Wow! Wow, a shopping list! That's great! She taught me some things. By that I mean she gave me a shopping list and then told me some things. And sent some videos I will watch later. Because right now I'm being gay! We're playing Graveyard Girls by, I forgot who it was, I put in the tweet. By Delph... names of things. Whoa. By Delphinium Interactive. Delphinium Interactive. Delphinium Interactive. I don't know anything about it. I saw this game. I think I saw this game on the eShop on the Switch a while ago. And then I bookmarked it. I wished this to. Then I realized it was on Steam. And then I obviously and then I got it on Steam and we're playing it now. I know literally nothing about it besides the fact that the Hella Yuri creator group says female protagonists focus on the interaction between two girls, but romance is not the primary story element. So keep that in mind. Romance is not the main focus of this game. The main focus of the game is dealing with grief and overcoming hardships. As the main character goes and visits her dead father's grave. Oh yeah, time to be sad. Time to be sad. Well, hope all you're all ready. I got my water. And I got my Mima. My lesbian kitsune. My rat. And your honey. The fallen angel. So let's get in there. I know literally nothing about this game besides the basic premise that is on the Steam store page. But I'm excited. I'm also intrigued by the setting and the premise, so let's not get distracted by popping sounds. Graveyard Girls depicts the complicated and traumatic aftermath of losing a parent during young adulthood. This topic has been addressed as authentically as possible. If you're struggling with grief, you may not have a safe experience playing this game. Content warnings. Graveyard Girls contains strong language, mature humor, drug abuse, self-harm, mentions of suicide, alcohol use, and sexual themes. This game is intended for players over age of 18 or older. Your discretion is advised. Would you like to continue? No, take me back to the main menu. Yes, I wish to continue. We do love we do love content warnings. We do stand content warnings. Twists in this game unlock scribbles. These are available in the memory section of the main menu after unlocking. You got some collectibles. The leaves crunch below my feet as I make my way through the cemetery, counting each row as I pass. A frigid gust of wind catches my hair and blows it into my vision. I tuck it away carefully. I can't help but remember how he used to tease me about finding my long hair everywhere. He'd always tell me how beautiful it was. Once I find the section I've been searching for, I let out a sigh, although it's not a relief. The cold stone inscription stares back at me, expressionless. Jason Gray, beloved husband and father. As I read the name quietly to myself, I feel like he's greeting me in his own way. What am I supposed to say? Nothing seems quite right, so I settled on the simplest of phrases. Hi, Dad. I made it. I know it's been a while. In truth, it's been too long. Last time I visited, he didn't even have a headstone. I'm sorry. I should have come sooner. I'm thinking, coming here isn't going to help. As if talking to a polished rock is going to bring any kind of closure. I tried to leave, but there's a magnetism to this place. As if he'd reached for my hand and said, "You're leaving already?" I gave back his headstone and whispered to myself, "I'm going to stay." Fine. My mom always insisted that I be careful not to stand on graves when visiting cemeteries. But that was out of respect for strangers. This is my dad's resting place. I sat on his lap 1,000 times before. What would he care if I rested on his grave? No. I know he wouldn't have minded. Without another moment of hesitation, I brush with the leaves and sit back against his headstone. I lay my notebook across my thigh and set into place. If I'm staying for a while, I'm getting comfy. I glimpse towards the late afternoon sun and pause to admire the golden glow of autumn. Achievement. It's been odd. I didn't read that in time. What was that? It was an achievement. I didn't read that in time. It's been a minute. Start a conversation with your dad. I glimpse towards the late afternoon sun and pause to admire the golden glow of autumn. He loved this time of year. Well, I'm guessing not much has changed with you. Could appreciate that sarcasm. Dark humor was his thing. That's probably where I got it from. I'll just sit here and talk to myself. Like a crazy person. I take a deep breath, but the crisp air won't soothe the ache in my lungs. I need to say something. Anything. Ooh. Let's talk about Mom. I guess it's time to tell you what's been going on. You might not love what I have to say next. You'd probably be angry. At least I think you would have been. I'll try to keep it short. So... you died? And no one saw it coming. One day you were... gone. I don't think I've processed that yet, to be honest. Mom couldn't handle the pain, so she shut down. I guess that was her coping mechanism. She spent months crying over you. She barely slept or ate. I didn't expect this to be easy, but I thought I'd still have my mom to lean on. I convinced myself that I was lucky to have her, regardless of how she was handling this. That's what I kept telling myself on the worst days. We weren't alone either. People tried to support her. Aunt Cora wanted her to visit a therapist, but Mom locked the doors and ignored her phone. I tried to talk with her too, but it was like she couldn't hear me. She was a shell of a person, shutting everything and everyone out. I thought she needed time. But one morning she packed her clothes and bought a plane ticket. There was no warning. She said she'd be back in 2 weeks, that she needed a vacation. Mom left. And it sucks to say, but I knew she wouldn't come back. I've seen her a handful of times since. One of those times was to sell the house that you built. I still drive past it. I like to pretend that you'll be waiting on the porch, having a cigarette or watering the plants. It's soothing in a strange way. Like opening my favorite chapter in a notebook. Pretending I don't know the ending. I pause, catch my breath. We're really going in strong with the emotion. Really starting off strong. Fuck. I was not expecting to be this sad this early, but why am I surprised? They literally advertise it as a sad game about dealing with grief and hardships, and that love is not the main focus. I knew this going in, yet here I am. Jeez. Mom's in an apartment on the other side of the country with her new boyfriend. But I stayed here. She helped with my tuition and rent, but she's gone. Honestly, if you saw her today, you wouldn't recognize her. I feel like I never really knew her. She left me behind, and I think that's because I remind her of you. There's a hole in my heart where my mom used to be, and hated her. A part of me still does. I used to think it would be easier if she disappeared. Isn't that horrible? Fuck me, saying this is worse than feeling it quietly. Daddy, I spent so much time hating her. She took up all the space I had left in my heart. But the worst part of it all is that I think I forgot to deal with losing you. That's why I'm here today. Because the person I need to talk to the most in this world isn't part of this world. I look skyward as I blink back, welling tears. Huh. Aunt Crow used to tell me to think of you smiling down at me. I keep thinking how sweet she is to say that, but when I picture you, you're looking up. I know that sounds dark, but seriously, what's left of you is 6 feet below me. Crow wanted me to remember you in a happy way. I get that. It's been just too literal. I search what to say next and wonder what he'd say if he were here. The truth is, I don't know what you'd feel. I didn't get a chance to know you better. Cora's words echo in my mind. Dad's smile. What was your smile like, anyway? And why didn't I try harder to preserve it in the first place? A frustration that I can't swallow begins to form in my throat. I stay silent, afraid that my voice will break, and the rest of me will follow. I do my best to reanimate my dad's grin in my mind's eye, but there's nothing. A stray leaf dances in front of me before heading west with the wind. I push away the distraction and close my eyes, forcing myself to focus on his lost expressions. I try to revisit each part of him. His amber eyes, his perfectly straight nose, the way his eyebrows furrowed when he asked too many questions. Slowly I could piece them together, but he wouldn't assemble. Even his voice was a dull whisper. Why couldn't I remember how he spoke? One exact phrase plucked from my memory would be enough to hear him, but the words remained unspoken. I couldn't even remember how he sounded when he said, "I love you." A familiar pain begins to claw at my chest, one I'd buried under a mountain of pills early this morning. No, not now. I inhale a raging breath and shove the shadows away. It's something I've practiced for a while now. Keep talking, distract yourself. You know, it's good that I visited before the snow. Winter is nearly here. You might not realize it, but today is your favorite holiday. It's also the day you died. 4 years ago. Maybe you knew that part, though. He suffered long enough to know he was going to die, I think. That was the detail that made me vomit when they told me about his accident. He was awake when the ambulance arrived. Why wasn't it faster? In my constant reimagining, he'd always be unconscious. I couldn't bring myself to picture any details. I didn't want to remember how he suffered, but it was a part of his story. It was part of his life. His suffering and vices even drifted into my dreams lately. The anniversary always amplified them. I tried smoking and drinking, just to see what you thought was so great about it. I must have gotten the genes from you because they're my favorite crutch now. I don't know why you tortured yourself with them. At least I have my reasons. But I did know. My mom stopped hiding her broken marriage once his casket was closed. I knew things were rough, but I didn't realize how destructive they were. Lately, I've started to question why my mother was my mother was the true monster in his life. It's funny, I spent so much time asking myself why you torture yourself with shitty choices when I mirror them daily. That's why I'm here too. Because I'm your daughter. I came here to suffer, not to heal. This pain doesn't mend like a paper cut, Dad. It festers like a gunshot. I'm so frustrated because now I know who Mom is. She's shown the world her true colors. You deserved better. Why can I picture her so perfectly? It's not fair. I bite my lip and push my mom's face from a memory. This isn't about her. Don't let her steal this moment. Anyway, I'm writing. Quite a lot, actually, almost daily. It's therapeutic, I think. Getting my feelings on paper helps me detach from them. They're a little less heavy when I read them aloud. When I write, I can push the darkest thoughts I've always having away, even momentarily. The best part is I'm not afraid that someone's listening and analyzing. It feels safer than the grief counseling I attend. I don't think the professionals were judging me, but when they listened, I felt them processing my words and misunderstanding. Just because I write dark things doesn't mean I'm a dark person. I'm reaching for brighter thoughts and feelings when I let those words go. My new therapist understands. She's different than the others. It finally feels important that I go to my appointments. I don't look forward to them because there are a lot. But when I leave, I feel lighter. Like I've lessened the load on my shoulders. I get scared sometimes because each day is a wild card. I hate feeling like everything is out of my control. I'm terrified that therapy can't save me. I don't want to bottle things up again. Holding of that shit in it was the worst idea I've ever had. Fuck it. Dad, I'm done pretending. I drink, I smoke, I pop some pills before I left the house. I'll do anything to be numb. I'm afraid that scribbling my feelings isn't enough. I thought the pain was dulling, but it's worse than the day you died. I know you're not here today, but I keep picturing you in every tomorrow. And each day That image grows a little dimmer. Between losing you and Mom taking off, I've been trying so hard to feel empty. Being happy felt out of reach, so feeling less became the best option. Turns out, being destructive could have saved me. You can't hear drowning girls cry. I wiped away the overflowing streams of tears from my sleeve and shut my eyes. Practice those deep breaths. It's okay to be upset. I inhale and exhale. But the breaths aren't intruded on. The earth sways below me. A sensation flowing overcomes me. Almost like sitting on a boat. Uh-oh. Why does it feel like the world's drifting? It's probably those stupid allergy pills. A twinge of concern washes over me as I try to imagine the state of my liver. But I excuse the thoughts quickly. It's not like I eat vegetables or drink enough water anyway. Coffee, bread, and cheese are my food groups. It was dumb to take more pills before leaving. I know it's a bad day when they can't keep me from crying. I try to focus on the positives. At least, I was doing better. Taking them as prescribed was a challenge, but I've managed to for quite a while. Today was a hiccup. They're usually a subtle but helpful bandage. I'm an idiot for thinking they'd handle this visit. Subtle can't cover this. How could I ever expect this visit to be easy? It was naive of me. Today is always going to be fucking sting. The words I whispered under my breath 1,000 times echo out once again. You're never going to be okay. I sit with the words. You're never going to be okay. Never. Ever. Again. I tell myself that I needed to get those words out of my system. But I know that they're bound to sit on the tip of my tongue again, waiting to escape. With my eyes still shut, I sigh and let my thoughts drift with the vertigo. Maybe those pills weren't so useless. A chilling gust lifts fluttering leaves away from the earth, and I can hear them dancing through the air. I begin to imagine that I'm flying with them, twirling away from this place, away from my body. Hello? A voice? I must have imagined it. Are you okay? What the? I open my eyes and stumble upwards in a daze. I hurriedly dust off my clothes before looking towards the stranger behind the question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm taken aback by her presence. I didn't expect to see anyone here. No, it's fine. You didn't scare me. My throbbing heart tells a different story. She's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. I suddenly feel thankful that I'm not the blushing type. Are you alright? I'm fine. Why? She gestures towards my dad's headstone and suddenly raises her eyebrow. I think you were sleeping on someone's grave. Did you, know them? I laugh half-heartedly. It's my dad. He wouldn't mind. Oh! The girl's posture stiffens noticeably, and I remind myself to tone down the abruptness. You're not talking to a ghost anymore. Act normal. Ask her name. We'll ask why she's here. Let's ask her name. Let's not ask why she's at a graveyard. Because that's a dumb question. That's dumb. That's a dumb question. What's your name? I'm Lucia. And you are? I quickly realized that I should have introduced myself first. It would have been the polite thing to do. Why do I always feel so disjointed when I meet new people? It's embarrassing. My name's Elle. It's nice to meet you. That sounded more robotic than genuine, but at least I'm trying. So, Elle, do you mind if I ask why you're napping in a cemetery? Well, it wasn't on the agenda. I took allergy medication and it hit a little harder than I anticipated. Oof. I've been there. What are you allergic to? I scrambled to come up with a good excuse. Not too sure. Had some hives and figured it was best to take a pill. Or 4. I get it. Sometimes cats make my eyes itchy. I pet them anyways. They're worth it. I can't help but smile back at Lucia. You seem sweet. So, you're visiting someone too? Lucia smiles falters. Nice job. You're always good at brightening the room. Yes, my sister passed away. Her name was Kate. She died last week. I couldn't help but regurgitate the sentence that everyone had spoken to me in the past. I'm sorry. Lucia shifts her feet uncomfortably and stares at the ground. I remember standing like that too, unsure how to respond. Sorry, that wasn't the right thing to say. I don't mind, it's what everyone says. I know. I've been there. My dad died 4 years ago, and so the memories are still pretty fresh. Lucia's eyes widen fearfully. They are? I struggle to backtrack, jumping to console her as best I can. Not in the same way that you're feeling. I mean that it's his anniversary today, so it feels closer than usual. Lucia's shoulders drop slightly as her gaze softens. That's understandable. I get it now. I'll be visiting on Kate's day too. Does visiting get easier? A Molotov mixture of disgust and embarrassment builds in my chest. What am I supposed to say? Do we comfort her or do we lie? Do we comfort her or tell her the truth? Yeah. This is, again, there were warnings at the start of the game. I knew that this was going to be a sad game to begin with for a Sapphic Sunday. But it's important to, you know, it's important to go over some of this stuff in general, you know? Important life lessons and stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna tell her the truth. As much as it might hurt, I'm gonna be truthful with her. with Lucia. I decided the truth is my best option. I don't know. Her eyebrows furrow slightly. A hint of confusion glimmers in her gaze. What do you... I mean that I haven't been here since he was. I trail off, the words too heavy to speak. I haven't talked about his burial before. The smooth and polished shine of his cherry wood casket revisits me. No. Don't cry in front of her. Don't scare her. I shake my head and try to find my way back to the present. Sorry. Lucia nods in silent understanding. We pause for a moment, both not sure how to continue. Lucia takes a step closer, trying her best to mend the gap between us. Al, you don't have to explain. I'm sorry that I prodded. I expect the knot in my stomach to twist and tighten, but they nearly surrender as Lucia looks at me apologetically. Instead of burying the words and leaving them to wait for my notebook, I speak up. I want to explain. Lucia's smile softens with a hint of encouragement. When I came to visit him, I couldn't do it. It never felt right. My memories of him aren't in this spot. They're elsewhere, but here. They're everywhere but here. I tried once, but it wasn't long after he'd passed. It was full of life. So his gravesite, it wasn't a place I could reflect on him. Until today? Yeah. Today I wanted to try again. Not exactly sure why. I guess I hoped it would help with closure. Lucia looked towards my father's headstone. Those are beautiful flowers. I like the arrangement you chose. I bited my lip unconsciously. Thanks, but I didn't leave those. I think his sister was here earlier. Cora is big on flowers. Oh, well, she has good taste. Sorry to focus on the flowers. I can't help myself. I'm a florist. That's interesting. The anxious realization that I never thought to bring my dad flowers hits me. It never even crossed my mind. Does Lucia think it's rude that I didn't? Maybe you could suggest a bouquet for my dad? I should have brought one. Hey, it's not your thing. If it's not your thing, don't feel like you have to buy them. Lucia smiles carefully as she reads me like an open book. I do have an idea, though, if you want to leave him something meaningful. Please, I'd love to. I expected not to mean that, but for some reason, I want to. Wait here, please. I know as Lucia walks past me. I flipped to my notes instead of staring after her, doing my best not to act entranced. Where did this girl come from? She's so sweet. The crunch of fallen leaves under footsteps carries from the distance. Lucia stands closer than before. I brought you this. She reaches into her bag and extends her hand. A single icy blue rose sits between her thumb and forefinger. Just gonna casually grab that. Don't mind me. Just gonna casually grab this nice screenshot in the sad game. Fine. I'll do that. Fine, I'll give you the screenshot. I reached forward to stop an hesitation. Achievement, Lucia's gift. Accept Lucia's blue rose. Where did you get it? It was left at Kate's grave. Huh? I gasped escaped my lips, and I shook my head. I can't take that. No, don't worry. Kate would want her father. Want your father to have a flower. Doesn't like roses anyway. Lucia trails off, realizing that what she said. I mean, didn't. Kate didn't like roses. I try my best to reassure her with my gaze as I accept the rose. Thank you. That present tense thing, it goes away. Don't feel like you need to jump to correct yourself. Time will take care of it. Lucia nods silently in response. As I kneel against the cold earth to place the blue rose on my dad's grave, I realize how fresh the flower is. The edges of the petals have barely begun to wilt. I feel Lucia's eyes on my back. Before I turn towards her, I ask the question on my mind. Lucia? When was Kate's funeral? Yesterday. As I face Lucia, I want to ask her why she's here today. I want to know how she's doing. I want to hug her. I want to make her feel less alone, even if for a fraction of a second. I want to give her what I never had. A moment of silence passes by. But before I can ask Lucia to let me in, she breaks the silence herself. Are you still tired? I massage the back of my neck absent-mindedly and laugh a little. Yeah. The dark circles give me away. Lucia giggles softly. No, your eyes are fine. That was kind of what to lie about. I've looked in the mirror before. I can't believe I fell asleep. It's a little embarrassing. Don't worry about it. Do you drink coffee? Yes. Let me buy you one. You don't want to sleep through Halloween. It's a great coffee shop in the Old Town district. Old Town? Isn't that a little far? Did you drive here? No, I walked. Well, I don't mind giving you a ride. Let me take you. It's my treat. Unless you have other plans. I don't, but part of me remains hesitant. Getting into cars with strangers isn't something my parents encouraged. That's for sure. She seems harmless enough, but I don't actually know her. Plus, today is not exactly an easy day for me. Lucia quietly reads over my rigid stance. Without explanation, she grins and starts to giggle at me. Did you want to take a selfie today? What? You can send it to a friend. That way, if you go missing, they'd know exactly who to look for. I smile back at her, and suddenly shake my head. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry, I already took a picture of you, Lucia, and sent it to a friend. They know what you look like. Don't worry, they'll find you. I stick out my thumb in a hitchhiker fashion. Love the thrill of getting into a stranger's car. Lucia playfully rolls her eyes before winking at me. Buckle up, then. We're going for a ride. We head towards the road, walking past rows of headstones, side by side. I didn't imagine I'd be leaving here with someone. The feeling of walking close to her is strangely comforting. I guess I always expected to be here alone. Even I had a special person in my life. I wouldn't ask them to come here. It's hard to understand what it's like to visit this place. Unless you're missing someone. The drive to the coffee shop is uneventful. Lucia's car has heated seats, so I try my best to subtly warm my hands under my legs. She doesn't seem to notice and stays focused on driving. We chat about the weather, mostly. Once we reach the Old Town District, Lucia carefully navigates towards the last parking spot on the street. This is the place. I haven't been here in forever. After stepping out of the car, Lucia tugs gently on my sweater and guides me to the crosswalk. She's practically bouncing towards the cafe. Once we cross, we find ourselves at the front doors. Despite the chilling weather, they still offer outdoor sitting. A waitress steps outside to greet us with a smile on her face. Welcome. If you'd like to take a seat, I'll be right with you. As the waitress steps inside, I move to follow her. Lucia pulls my sweater again with an expectant grin. Let's sit out here. It's more private. As we take our seats outside the cafe, I feel the energy from the cemetery fall away. Our table is vibrantly decorated with Halloween-themed trinkets and candles. This is so cute! I can't argue with that. She definitely chose a festive spot. The street is bustling with ghouls and witches. Even our waitress is dressed up. Happy Halloween! Can I interest you in one of my spooky specials? Lucia's eyes light up immediately. Oh! What are they? The waitress grins, realizing she's hooked Lucia in. Today we have our pumpkin cheesecake paired with any of our fall specialty drinks for $8.99. If you're craving something warm and hearty, we also have butternut squash soup with one of our favorite baked biscuits. Lucia squeals with delight. I love cheesecake! Could I get the pumpkin cheesecake with the pumpkin spice latte, please? I guess she likes pumpkins. After writing down Lucia's order, the waitress gazes darts towards me. What would you like? That pumpkin cheesecake sounds fine. And a drink? I rack my brain for anything other than the pumpkin spice latte. So, what are your other fall drinks? Maple pecan and chai lattes. Lucia raises her eyebrows and whispers exaggeringly across the table. Psst! The maple pecan sounds super yummy. I can't help but chuckle. Okay, I'll get the maple pecan latte. The waitress nods and leaves with a smile. Barely a minute passes before our waitress rushes back to the table. Look at her, enjoying her pumpkin spice latte, like a baby, like a bean, like a small little bean, a little guy. Here are your lattes? Thanks so much. I'll bring your cheesecakes over as soon as it's ready. Lucia peers over at me with a curious glimmer in her eyes. Do you think it's too hot to sip? I'm sure it's fine. I lift the cup to my lips and decide to take a swig. Yikes! My throat burns as I try desperately to clear it inconspicuously. I do my best to not to sputter on listening as I reply. It's quite warm still. She goes softly. You didn't need me by lap rat. Just try to be helpful. Lucia raises her cup and takes a careful sip. It's not that hot. Don't try to scare me. Well, it is Halloween. How did she not scold herself? Does she have no sense of temperature? Maybe that's why she chose outdoor sitting on this chilly day. Do you like celebrating Halloween? I falter, unsure how to explain myself. I used to. Before. Lucia realizes sorry. Do you like Halloween? I used to. Lucia realizes what she's asked. I'm sorry, I can't believe I forgot that today is... No apology necessary. I try my best to steer the conversation with a lighter tone in my voice. I do like Halloween, by the way. I just haven't done much other than hand out candy for a few years. The kids in my neighborhood love my place. They know I always have tons of treats. You only hand out candy? You ever dressed up? No, but I did like that part when I was in high school. Great! Great! Check it out! I'm going to costume party tonight. What do you think? Spooky? Or sexy? Huh? What kind of costume should I go with? I have a closet full of options. Sexy costumes are fun. She looks at me playfully. How did I know you'd suggest that? Putting back a goofy grin, I bite my cheek hard. A flash of pain dances across my face. Al, are you okay? I'm fine. I was thinking about what costumes you might have. Why would you say that? I somehow managed to embarrass myself more than I feared. Lucia politely ignores the comment instead of teasing me. So, did you want to come to the party with me? I was going to go alone, but... Lucia's words drift away from me. My limbs stiffen, as if I'd suddenly been plunged into icy water. A party on Halloween. That night. We went out that night. I was the one that called him. I bite my cheek, desperate to escape the coursing river of guilt. No. No. Freaking out. Not now. I dig my nails to my palms, trying to snap myself away from the echo of that Halloween party. Okay. Focus. And breathe. The idea of rejecting Lucia hurts, but I can't go with her. The voice of my therapist says trauma trigger rings in my head. I promised that I'd stop being self-destructive, and I can't risk Lucia seeing me like that. I can't. Not tonight, at least. The ghost of that distant night disappears as quickly as it arrived. I'm at the cafe with Lucia. I'm okay. Lucia grips the handle of her mug and spins it absentmindedly. I thought you didn't have plans. I have a date later. Sorry, I didn't mention it. A frown escapes Lucia. A date? I nod. Yep, with a bowl of leftover candy. Leftover. Oh! Relief washes over her. If it isn't obvious already, I'm painfully single. It's not obvious. Really? Of course it isn't. You're so pretty! For a second, my heart skips a beat. Wow. I realize how rude I might be coming off. I mean, thanks. Sorry. Okay, that's a good expression. Here, you get this one as well. Enjoy. Why are you sitting in a VC alone? My guy. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so angry. He's so angry. He's so angry. Why is you sitting at VC alone? Never mind, I know why you're sitting at VC alone. Anyways. We break eye contact and circle to continue. That's no way to snap back into reality. That's one way to snap back to reality. Oh. There goes gravity. Come on. Keep it up. So, what's it like being a florist? My ploy to redirect the conversation is painfully evident. What's wrong, Possum? Why are you bonking me? I'm just stepping back to reality. Lucia doesn't brush me off, luckily. My family has owned a flower shop for 3 generations, so it's pretty natural for me. Pretty natural. What about you? Are you a student? No, I graduated from a tourism and hospitality program. I work at the Spring Dream Suites. That sounds interesting. It's really not. My job is to fend off bad reviews, basically. Lucia laughs, but I'm afraid it's forced. Do you like to travel? I haven't really traveled since I was a kid. But if I ever had the chance, I'd love to work at a resort. Just to see what it's like to live in a warm climate. Count me in! I'm always down to book a room at an island resort. I promise I'll leave a good review too. If you give me a discount. I can't help but giggle. I'll do my best. I'm curious about your job. When did you join your family's business? They started training me when I was young. I spent plenty of summers playing in my grandma's garden. She started the business with my grandfather. It's beautiful. They have a huge property out in the countryside. I loved putting together bouquets for my mom when I was little. My grandma would help me pick them, so they always turned out perfectly. She called it my training. Her plan worked out, though. I'm running the business with my parents now. My grandparents are retired, but they still help out when it's short-handed. Lucia's gaze seems to intensify. It feels like she's looking right through me. Is she alright? She notices my concern and smiles reassuringly. Sorry, I was thinking about those summers as a kid. I can still picture the day that my sister made a flower crown out of the daisies. She put it on my head and called me princess. It was a game, Kate, but... She clears her throat. That was the day I fell in love with flowers. I'll never forget it. Lucia. That was a vulnerable moment. Her hands tremble, ever so slightly. She must have been nervous to share that memory with me. That's so special. Hello, ladies. Here's your pumpkin cheesecake. Before I can finish, our waitress interrupts. We wait for her to sit down the plates and cutlery. Can I get you anything else? I think we're good. Thanks. The waitress steps away and heads inside. I fiddle with my notebook and flip through the pages with Lucia, while Lucia sips her drink. I'll say it again. Elle? Can I ask you a question? I smile, eager to start chatting again. Go ahead. Lucia motions towards the table. What's this? What's that? Oh. It's my notebook. Like a diary? Sort of. It has a bit of everything. Unfinished thoughts, sketches, and some journaling. I don't usually carry it around. You brought it for your dad? Maybe it was obvious. Or maybe she understands me. Yeah. I did. I thought about reading to him, but it felt weird once I got there. I talked to him instead, which wasn't much easier. I think I know how you feel. I tried talking to Kate today, but I couldn't. I left your voicemails instead. It felt closer to how things were. Almost normal. It's subtle, but Lucia's voice breaks as she trails off. Instinctively, I've reached across the table. For a fraction of a second, my hand rests atop her own. I pull away, swiftly, fearing that I have invaded her space. Sorry. She stares at her lap, unmovingly. Thank you. That was nice. For a moment, I envisioned the horrible precipice Lucia is hovering on the edge of. Unfiltered, unprocessed, raw grief. One day, she's going to realize that in the infinite possibilities of this universe, she will never see her sister again. The realization that there will never be another moment shared with Kate. The end of making memories and the beginnings of their blurring. It seems clear, but it never is. Elle? Yeah? Lucia bites her lip and stares into her cup. I have questions that I'm afraid to ask anyone else. I don't want to be weird or rude, but you seem to understand loss better than anyone else I've spoken to. I struggle to give her a good answer. What if I make her feel worse? I decide to warn her. Honestly, I'm not the best person to get grief and counseling from. I need someone to be real with me. I'm tired of being brushed off. Suddenly, the circle of chairs in this church basement visits me. I felt brushed off too. It was so discouraging. Alright. What did people say to you? I heard that the stages can take years, but that the pain won't last forever. Is it true? The stages? Honestly, I forgot how much people like to focus on that idea. My grief wasn't in stages, at least not in the way I expected. She gives me a quizzical stare through glassy eyes. Emotions aren't dominoes. They don't fall in a logical pattern. My grief falls like sudden rain on a cloudy day. I wake up in acceptance and go to bed angry or bargaining. Lucia's eyes brighten. That was poetic. I ignore her praise. Look, I know your sister is always on your mind right now. But there's going to be days where you forget about Kate for longer than you ever thought possible. I forget about my dad all the time. Sia seems startled by my admission. There are moments when his memory don't stir any pain or tears. Because you're healing? No. I feel ashamed or angry. Even dull at times. It always feels wrong. You'll probably be disgusted with yourself by pulling it together and bearing how deep you miss her. I felt punished for trying to function. Going to work, visiting friends, even getting stressed. Holding away the pain is harder than carrying it. I just want you to know that. There's no winning. There's no easy way to process this loss. She blinks carefully. Intentionally. As if she's truly absorbing the information. You know... Lucia stops to clear her throat before continuing. I didn't plan to go back to Kate's grave today. You didn't? No. I was driving around mindlessly and it sort of dawned on me that mourning in a daze was disrespectful of her memory. She would have done anything for a clear moment. I'm not sure if I follow. I don't want to demand answers, but I can't nod and pretend it makes sense like that grief group did. I'm not here to tell her that she's young and that'll make it easier. That was wrong of them. Anecdotes and adages aren't solutions. I want to listen and do my best to understand her. But Lucia doesn't move to explain herself. If you're not ready to tell... No, it's fine. Sorry. I need a moment. I nod and wait for her to gather her thoughts. She takes a deep breath. And begins. Kate suffered from chronic health problems and taught me a pain-free day is. She tried her best to live a normal life, but her health had a habit of stealing happy moments from her. One morning, Kate didn't get up for breakfast. My mom went upstairs to check on her. They had plans to go shopping, so it was odd that she hadn't started getting ready. When my mom walked in, Kate wouldn't wake up. She was taking prescription drugs for her illness and she aspirated in her sleep. It was sudden. She died all alone. And now I'm here. 1 week later, drinking a pumpkin spice latte while my sister starts to rot in the ground. My heart shudders as she speaks the word rot. So yeah, I get what you mean. There are no right choices. Every moment without her feels wrong. I feel like a stranger in my own life. I'd never say anything like that, especially to someone I've just met, but I spoke without hesitating. And now, I'm regretting every word. I'm afraid that you think I'm a freak. No. It's horrible, but everything you said makes perfect sense. I didn't want to tell her anything else. I didn't want her to know that my heart doesn't feel like it did before. Lucia gives a look that cuts deep. This girl is staring into my eyes, looking for hope. I reach out and squeeze her hand, but the comfort is forced. I don't know how to tell her that I'm broken too. I don't deserve the whiplash of false hope. I don't want to see her bite that apple. I don't want to watch it turn to bitter ash on her tongue. I pull my hand away and break the silence. Can I put my number in your phone? Lucia straightens her posture, reaches for her bag. Sure. She unlocks her phone and hands it over. I carefully type my information into the new contact menu, making sure I leave no mistakes. I know it's a cliche, but you can call me anytime. I don't care why either. It doesn't have to be an emergency. She nods and stashes her cell phone back in her bag. Thank you. I still have questions, if you're willing. I feel an acidic hesitation burning in my throat. I'm not sure if I'm the person you should be around right now. I think you're wrong. I don't think I am. I tried talking to other people dealing with loss, and it didn't help. Sometimes I wonder if the opposite would have been better. Maybe you need to surround yourself with people who don't get it. How could that help? Maybe you'll convince yourself that you're still like them. Fake it till you make it, but the grief counseling version. Look, I get it if you don't want to talk about grief, but I don't need kid gloves. She points to my lap. I want to hear the L that's in the notebook. I know you've already let me listen to her. When? The poetry. Grief that falls like sudden rainfall on a cloudless day. I'll bet you $20 that it's been written in there. As much as I wouldn't mind paying for the meal. I won't bet against her. I know she's right. And she knows it too. I push aside my uncertainty. It's not like you have to see her again. If your answer freaks her out, it's her choice to insist on them. But I find myself imagining her in my future. Where she fits in. I'm not sure. But I'm certain that I want to see her again. Okay. I'll bite. Finally! First, you have to make me a promise. What kind of promise? When we go our separate ways, you have to text me after. Even if it's to say goodbye forever. Okay. I promise that I'll text you. I wink at Lucia playfully. Ask me anything. I'm an open book. She grins at the notebook pun. Okay. Let's start weird. Was your dad's service an open casket? Yep. Did you look himself? They never do. I hadn't seen a body before Kate's service. I don't know what I expected a dead person to look like, but it wasn't that. Looking at her made me feel sick. Or maybe it was afraid. I couldn't believe it was her. She looked like a doll. Like a weird imitation of Kate. Even when I was staring at her, I knew exactly where she was. I couldn't turn my mind away from that image. She definitely didn't look like she was sleeping. She looked dead. I could barely focus on the service. She was all I saw. It was awful, but I can't really remember what anyone said to me that day. The eulogies are a blur. I pursed my lips. How did no one notice how she felt against but seeing her dead sister? Why didn't anyone help her? I'm sorry nobody warned you before the funeral. I'm sorry that no one saw what you were dealing with during it either. You needed support, and you deserved it. Thanks. Having a viewing isn't right for everyone. Please don't worry. It's okay to be freaked out. You're not the first to feel that way. Trust me. There's a term for it. Seriously? Yeah, it's called Uncanny Valley. When you look at someone you've seen animated with life and see that emptiness, that absolute absence of energy, it's different for everyone, but you're not going to like it. I'm sorry you saw Kate that way. You deserve the option not to. Lucia frowned sharply. You're right. No one asked if I wanted an open casket. My parents did all the planning. I just showed up. My mom did the opposite. She dragged me to every moment of planning. Choosing Dad's casket. It's burned into my memory. There's no winning when you don't have a choice. We both deserve to make our own choices. Lucia nods as her expression softens. After the funeral, I kept pulling a photo of Kate out of my wallet. I couldn't help but stare and cry. I was doing whatever I could to remember her the way that she was, instead of the shell I saw that day. I like to think that focusing on her smile helped. She sits back in her chair and motions towards her bag. I'm gonna quickly go dehydrate. Well, with this sad moment, we're gonna look at sad Lucia as I go do that. Be right back. I'm back. Not to be sad now. Just close something real quick. Close something real quick, we're good. Anyways, where's the camera? I left my water in the kitchen! Lol. I'm gonna go grab that. I return with the water from the kitchen. What a home slice. Breast slice, breast home slice. She sits back in her chair and motions towards her bag. Would you like to see it? Sure, let's see the photo of Kate. Sure. Lucia carefully places a small photograph on the table between us. I sit forward and peer down, bracing myself. Oh, she's so pretty. Instantly, I feel my heart shudder out of rhythm as I take in the smiling image of a girl my own age. She was so young. I look back at Lucia and try to keep my response simple. Kate, look at Kate's photo. Achievement unlocked. Oh, okay, that's all the okay. That's all the achievements. That's all the achievements in the game. Okay. Your sister had a beautiful smile. She nods in agreement. I took that photo when we were gardening together last summer. Weeding in my grandma's garden was always a pain, but Kate did her best to make me laugh whenever she could. She spent more time gathering up bouquets than actually pulling weeds. I didn't mind, though. Chores weren't so bad when she was around to help. I think Kate smiled every day of her life. I'll miss that the most. She was a bright light. That's why I always wanted to be like my big sister. Lucia reaches out and takes the photo, tucking it away carefully in her wallet. Elle, please don't feel pressure. I get it if you can't share anymore. I know that I am not entitled to your pain or experiences, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to hear them. Can I ask another question? Sure. Go for it. Lucia's lips quiver as her amber eyes betray a sliver of anxiety. You're sure? Please. I want to help. She swallows audibly. Do you feel like he's watching you? An old weight descends and perches on my shoulders. The hovering of familiar eyes. A specter I thought I'd left in the past. I shrug it away with a practiced breath. In the first few weeks after he died, Yeah. Quite often. That goes away fast, I think. You don't remember? You don't remember? I can't tell her how I yelled at nothingness in the days before Dad's funeral. How I ordered him away for my own comfort. That I didn't want him to visit ever. I needed to live without his ghostly gaze. That stays between us. Simplicity is best. It goes away. Or you just decide that you don't care what they see. A hint of blush touches her cheeks. It better go away. I felt weird showering today. I couldn't stop picturing her standing on the other side of the curtain, waiting. It's eerie. I feel like I'm going crazy. I promise you're not crazy. I've been there. How did you do it? What? Cope. How did I cope? That's an impossible question. Honestly, that's an answer I'm still searching for. You must have tried everything. Oh, Lucia, I tried plenty. I decided to turn the question back towards her. What have you tried in the first week? My hair, I guess. It wasn't this color last week. I had the appointment before Kate died. She booked it for me. I couldn't bring myself to cancel it, so I went to her funeral like this. There's a hint of regret in her voice. There's nothing wrong with fashion colors. Maybe from your perspective. I thought it would help me. It would make me happy, but it didn't work. I remember when I felt that way too. When I thought that a haircut or a tattoo could spill some color into the gray haze. I regret not rescheduling, at least. My cousin implied that I was trying to steal Kate's spotlight. Some of Kate's friends did too. Spotlight. What a poor choice of words. That wasn't fair of them to say. But it was. I did that when she was alive. She's... Kate was my best friend and worst enemy. I got so jealous of her, constantly. The worst part was, Kate knew it, and she always did her best to reassure me that I was pretty or popular too. It didn't matter what was bothering me. She would zero in on it and try to fix things. She would be too kind. It was disarming and infuriating. And as much as she bugged me, I would do anything to get that back. I wanted to make it better. I need to know what to do with all this. I'm overflowing with feelings towards her and there's no resolution. I can't work it out with her. Every chance slipped away in an instant. No outlet for this ocean of pain. It hurts. I want to stop, just for a second. I want to break. I can't give you a break. No one can. I know. I really had to stop her. Wait. I wasn't done. I can't give you a break. But when things get too stormy, I can be your anchor. I wait, half expecting her to burst into laughter over the lame sentiment. Or maybe she'll pity me and say thanks as quickly as possible. Her eyes grow wide in disbelief. Why? You don't even know me. I think I know you better than you want me to. I know the question in your head. I've relived them. Lucia freezes. Maybe that scares you? I feel like you know me too. And it's uncomfortable. It fills me with insecurities I didn't even know I had. But I still want to see you again. I want to meet the other pieces of you. I mean, I don't know your favorite color or hobbies, but I want to. She doesn't respond. This is a long-winded version of why I'll be there if you call. If you want to see me again. Lucia finally emerges from her silence. I do. But if you're going to know my story, I need to hear more of yours. I could tell you're censoring it. I'm not blind either. When I asked you about that Halloween party, you froze up. I saw it. Something stole you from our conversation, just for a second. You don't need to hide that from me. If I'm going to be vulnerable, can't you be too? I promise I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going anywhere. Will you tell me what happened to you? Yes. But if you have questions, wait until I'm finished. Lucia nods in agreement. Okay. I can do that. Fair warning. It's a long and messy story. It's too much to hear right now. Please stop me. I will if I need to. Alright. I swallow, but the lump in my throat remains. It's an uncomfortable ache. Until today, I hadn't felt that for months? Maybe even years. It's better than feeling nothing, right? I turn my attention back to Lucia. I'm going to think aloud here. If I come off erratic, that's why. Honestly, I'm ashamed of myself. And that's not typical. I've hated myself. I felt angry, lonely, and stupid. But never ashamed. There was no one around that I cared about to feel shame. When you started asking questions, you made me reflect for the first time in a while. Despite my declaration of honesty, I can't help but hold back. Vulnerability, it's not my thing. This is actually why therapy was always been a struggle. I decided to borrow the attitude I'd fought so hard to leave behind. Fuck it. Here goes nothing. 4 years ago, I went to a Halloween party. Lucia's eyebrows raised quickly as expected. I was home from college that weekend. I was so excited to get together with my old friends. We'd gone to different schools, so it was something we'd been planning for a while. We all dressed up together before the crowd arrived. It started out pretty innocently. But a ton of people showed up, and the party got kind of crazy. My friend was hosting it, and she didn't mind, luckily. Originally, I was I planned to stay the night, but I ended up drinking way too much and I needed to get home early. My boyfriend stayed that weekend, so he couldn't give me a ride. My friend stayed on campus that weekend, so he couldn't give me a ride. I called my dad after midnight, and he agreed to pick me up. He wasn't mad or anything. He was glad that I called when I needed him. He was just having fun and overindulged. He understood. My dad was driving to my friend's place when a teenager in a truck blew through a stop sign and T-boned him. When the emergency services arrived, my dad was still awake. He didn't make it to the hospital. I wait, trying to gauge Lucia's response. She seems okay. I'll keep going. The kid that caused the accident walked away with superficial scratches. He was lucky in that regard. But mentally, he was traumatized. I don't have any ill will towards him anymore. It's just best to make amends with my family. Honestly, I hope he can live a normal life. One mistake shouldn't haunt him forever. After my dad died, things with my mom went downhill pretty quickly. I left school to stay home with her. It didn't feel right to leave her all alone. Things fizzled out with my boyfriend because of the distance, and so I was dealing with my stuff too. I tried to be there for my mom, but nothing worked. When I spoke to her, she made me feel like I didn't exist. When I tried to tell her about my feelings, she shut me down. She treated suffering like a competition. She'd say that he was just my dad. She'd rant about how we're meant to lose our parents, that he was her husband, and that her pain would never end. I barely recognized her. There was even a time when I thought she might kill herself. I didn't know what to do. I was practically still a teenager. I catch myself holding back or push through. It was fucking scary. Lucy pursed her lips and nods solemnly. Her eyes speak in sincerity, as in I'm so sorry, as she possibly can. But she stays true to her word, and doesn't interrupt, sensing that my story is complete. Without much of an explanation, she said he went on a vacation and never really came back. She moved to the West Coast and got a fresh start. I grit my teeth, forcing myself to say that what I'd only ever felt before. My mom said that I was always welcome to join her. But I know she only offered because she knew I'd refuse to move. She knew that I wouldn't follow her. Eventually, she ended up hating my dad. I think that was her way of coping. Her marriage wasn't perfect, but she clung to everything that was wrong. He was a shift worker, always rotating from day to nights. It meant that he didn't get to spend so much time with us, and he would have liked. That's what he liked, but it paid for Mom's lifestyle. She always had new clothes, a nice car, whatever she asked for. I knew he loved her. He used gifts to try to make up for his schedule. My mom doesn't seem to remember that side of him. I guess it's easier to hate someone rather than mourn them. She never failed to shit-talk him when we're on the phone. In her eyes, her new boyfriend is perfect. My dad was a human garbage. I can't stand to listen to her for too long, so I kept our call short and spaced out. My therapist calls it creating boundaries. It feels like giving up, though. Because in the end, my mom got what she wanted. My mom's goal was to get rid of me. And she won. Call it a mental breakdown, a midlife crisis, or whatever you want. There's something I've never been able to shake off, even years later. As I fight to utter them, the words try to escape. There were unspeakable thoughts. Lucia looked at me, questioning, and I nodded. Al? You're safe with me. Please. You can say it. I exhale. Every day, I wake up and think, I want to go home. But I can't. That part of my life, that door is locked. I shake my head, disagreeing with my statement. No, that's not it. I want to go home. But my mom burned the whole house down. When I think of that part of my life, it's like sifting through a pile of ashes. There's nothing left. I did stupid things, trying to numb the pain. I partied, slept around, couldn't go a day without smoking. Was always reaching for painkillers too. I think I convinced myself they'd quiet the throbbing in my head. House parties were too close to losing him, so I went to nightclubs instead. I remember dancing in the middle of a neon crowd, feeling more alone than I'd ever felt possible. I was suffering by people smiling and partying, but there was no happiness. I realized no one was looking for me. I was screaming for help, and no one could hear me. My dad was dead. My mom had a new life. I was completely alone. Those choices were my own, but there were choices my parents would have protected me from. There were days where I laid in bed and couldn't pull the blankets off. All I could do was reach for a bottle. My own existence was too heavy. It was crushing. I got lucky in the end. My doctor probably saved my life. His office called for an annual checkup instead of canceling. I felt compelled to go. I didn't tell him much, but he saw the signs and pushed me into treatment. You see, I'm not the kind of person you should be around. I'm not good. My mom, Warm tears spilled down my frigid cheeks, like spring rain in forgotten snow. My throat constricts, threatening to choke my words in silence. I don't know what to do. I don't know why she left. I don't know why she stopped loving me. Lizzie reaches across the table, squeezing my hand. As her fingers brush across my skin, my shoulders drop. How did she do that? She has such a subtle presence. The smallest gesture feels like she's wrapped me in a fuzzy blanket. Why? Why do I feel safe telling you this? Lucy's expression softens as she pulls her hand away. Maybe this wasn't an accidental connection. I hastily wipe away the tears on my sleeve, doing my best to compose myself. What do you mean? I never planned to visit the cemetery. My sister wasn't the reason I pulled over. It was because of you. The universe put you there. It pulled me in, like a magnet. I was sent to find you. I think we were meant to meet. I'm not sure what to say. It's a nice thought, but I don't really believe in fate. Why? I want to believe that I decide what path I'll take. Nothing else. I've spent so much time feeling powerless and weak. If I get to decide my purpose, at least that's one thing I have control over. Your sister was so young. My dad was too. I don't think fate made that teenager crash into my dad. I think his own stupid decisions did. I made stupid decisions too. Grief pushed me over the edge and I let it drive my life for too long. I want my life. I want to write my own story now. Lucia nods. Her smile brightens. If fate didn't send me, then I guess I found you, all on my own. That's special too. But I have to argue fate's course, fate's case. I think there was a sign that we were meant to find each other. I just couldn't see it until now. What sign? The bouquet of blue roses for Kate. They weren't there during her burial. Someone dropped them off afterwards. I don't follow. Well, the thing about blue roses is they're not a typical flower to leave at a grave all on their own. Usually you have an arrangement of all kinds of accents. Roses aren't something Kate liked either. But there's a local tradition behind blue roses. No one really remembers this kind of stuff anymore except for florists in this region. It's a lost tradition. What's the tradition? In folklore, children would leave a single blue flower at the grave of their father. Blue roses become particularly popular because they weren't naturally occurring. The gesture symbolized peace or sincerity, depending on who you ask. My grandfather always told me that leaving a blue rose would help a father's spirit move on. Otherwise, they'd cling to this world to watch over their children. It grants the deceased an acceptance of their passing and allows their children to grieve. I'm certain that I was meant to find that rose. Your dad was meant to have it. Lucia's words at his gravestone echo through my head. I do have an idea, if you want to leave him something meaningful. So that's what she meant. It seems like more of a coincidence than anything. Still, I'm left with questions. I don't get your meaning. Why do you think the rose was fateful? It seems like someone dropped them off for Kate's service, that's all. I think you're wrong. Fate put those roses there for a reason. Regardless of whom brought them. You were meant to take part in that tradition for him. I feel frustration ebb into my voice. But why? Why? It was the question that always haunted me. Why did my dad have to die? Why did Mom leave? Why was everything familiar gone in an instant? Lucia smiles with patience beyond her years, as if she's waiting for my realization. Why? Because your dad doesn't need to worry about you being alone anymore. I'm here now. I fumble, racing to organize my thoughts. Do you Do you really mean that? Al, that first was waiting for us. He deserves to be at peace. You're not alone anymore. I'm not going anywhere. If you want me around. My tears threatened to overflow, but I craned my neck up downward to stop them. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. When I look back to her, I can only bear to whisper my answer. I want you to stay. I will. For the first time since my dad died, I feel a bond. A new connection. I don't want to lose her. You'll keep your promise, right? What did I promise? I grin at her. To text me once you drop me off. Lucia reaches for her phone and begins to tap away at its screen. Is she texting me right now? She gasps suddenly. Oh shoot! I have to go soon. It's getting pretty late. If we stay much longer, you're gonna miss your trick-or-treat. Miss your trick-or-treaters. Got that date with your leftover candy too. Much as I don't want to leave quiet yet, I don't want to keep Lucia too late. We better go. We need kids egging my place. Plus, I don't want you missing that party. I think I'll skip out. It's been an interesting day. Well, I hope you find the energy to go out. Home was my favorite holiday. Mine too. Don't worry. I'm gonna send you pictures of my costume. The sexy one. I'm sure you'll love them. I can't help but bite my lip. Looking forward to it. Lucia waves towards the waitress. Can we get the bill, please? I'll get that right away. The waitress glances towards our untouched plates. I'm sorry. Was there something wrong with your cheesecake? No. We're in a bit of a rush, that's all. Can we get takeout boxes, please? Of course. Thanks for coming. Happy Halloween. With the bill paid, we cross the street and enter Lucia's car. I focus on giving Lucia directions on my neighborhood. I can't help but feel eager to get a box of Halloween decorations, dusted off, and onto my doorstep. I'm at number 235. Right here? Right here? Yeah. That's my place. Lucia pulls over and parks the car. As the engine switches off, I can't help but wonder what she's up to. I thought she just dropped me. Are you my neighbor? Let me walk you to your door. You don't have to do that. She's gonna go softly. Of course I do. This place is crawling with monsters. Little superheroes, princesses, and ghouls begin to trickle out onto the streets, passing by houses without porch lights. I hurry up and step and unlock my door. As I turn the key, I feel Lucia's eyes on my back. What? No goodbye? I stick out my tongue. Don't act so worried. I'm not ditching you just yet. I look back and pop the door open, hit the light switch, and watch as the dim orange glow flickers on. It looks like you get plenty of kids on this street. Oh yeah, I rarely have leftover candy. That's too bad. I would have liked to steal some. You're lucky then. Why's that? I have a stash just for myself, and I might be willing to share. Does that mean you'll have to make plans to see me again? I guess so. Lucia steps closer. I can smell the faint remnants of a pumpkin and espresso aroma swirling around her. Her gaze drifts downwards from my eyes and traces my lips. I like that. Is she? Boo! An eruption of laughter echoes from across the street. A group of trick-or-treaters were trying to scare their friends. Lucia adjusts the strap of her purse and clearly flustered. I've been thinking about our next date. I can't help but smile when she says date. You have? Yep. Maybe we could go somewhere casual. Coffee wasn't casual. I meant the topics. I'd love to know what your favorite music is or what your childhood pets were like. I want to know more about you. My heartbeat quickens. I like where you're going with this. I can do simple. As long as you spill some details too. I want to hear all about your past. Ex-boyfriends, adventures, everything. Lucia begins to fidget again, this time with her necklace. Well, you don't have to worry about boyfriends. She seems anxious about the admission. That's relief. No competition. I tried my best to make her laugh, but all I get was a grin. Worth it. Do you like horror movies? Yes. Although I'm more into ghost stories, slashers aren't my thing. Alright. Did you want to come over tomorrow night? We can eat candy and watch a haunted house film. Her eyes light up. I'd love to. Great. It's a plan. Although I do have one question for you. What is it? Should I expect flowers? Always. I said better buy a vase. Don't be silly. I can buy one. Lucy reaches into her purse and taps on her phone. It's getting late. I think I should head home. There's something else I want to say before you go. Okay. It's that. If you do change your mind about us, seeing each other again, it's okay. Why do you say that? Because meeting you was a blessing either way. You made me see myself so clearly. I used to think that I'd never made a step forward, that my grief hadn't changed. Today you were a mirror into my past. I could finally see that I've been doing whatever I needed to. I'm growing. So, blue roses and fade aside. You lost your sister this week. I'd rather you lean on me, not the other way around. I also want you to take as much time as you need before we see each other again. If you wake up tomorrow and can't get out of bed, that's natural. I'm in no rush. I'll wait for when you're ready to spend time together. Put yourself first. Lucia nods. Thank you for saying that. But just so you know, you can't get out of our date that easy. I expect chocolate bars and lollipops tomorrow at night, or you're in big trouble. Good to know. I'll be ready. Lucia bites her bottom lip, absentmindedly. I'm glad that I found you today. I can't wait to get to know you better. Lucia inches closer. Good night, Al. Aww. Oh. Cute. Lucia wraps her arms around me in a warm embrace. I think you're an amazing person. Thank you for today. I smile. No, thank you. I'm glad you found me, Lucia. I squeeze her tight. Good night. Aw. What a good story. What a good story. I cried multiple times. Lead developer Sam Kerr. Creative director Sam Kerr. Pomu. Sprite artist Mint Tea. Mint Tea. What a nice name. CG artist Pomus. Pomus. It's an important story. Music composer Dalto Attig. Background artist Waikiki. Logo design Win Moore. GSC Studios. The artist Mint Tea. UI artist Pomus. CG artist Melon Payne. Huh. Scribble artist, haven't seen those yet. Noah Leurto. UI programmer Funny. Additional graphic design Andrew Tsan. Thanks to Nanailia and Spooktober Game Jam hosts and judges. This was a Game Jam game. this was a Game Jam game, wasn't it? I think I remember reading that somewhere. Hell yeah. Golden morning light trickles across my windowsill. What a beautiful sunrise. For the first time that I can remember, I'm glad to see a new day. I snuggle under the covers to enjoy the last second of warmth. I sigh. Instead of angry words, anxious dreams, or dark cravings, there's only one thing on my mind. One person. I imagine her in the room with me. What would that be like? Maybe I'd make her pancakes. We could sit down for breakfast and chat the morning away. I bet she'd love a coffee. The fantasy warms the forgotten ice in my heart. Despite being alone, I want to say it. Good morning, Lucia. I'll see you soon. It's a promise to myself. One I intend to keep. The story is so good. It's important. I don't think I've ever felt this type of grief before. And if I have, I could think of maybe one time, but that was like when I was really young. And don't remember how any of that felt. Because I was like 6 or something. At most, I think. It's not something I've thought about obviously since then. But it's interesting, because I don't remember much. All I remember is crying in the car, in the front seat, I think. I'm not sure why I was in the front seat in this memory. But I was crying a lot in the front seat. But I'm a 6-year-old in the front seat, which makes no sense at all, legally. I don't think I was in the front seat, but I remember being in the front seat, which doesn't make any sense. I think I was really close to the person I lost. But it's been so long. I don't remember. It's sad in a way. But like, it's good that I moved on. But I've dealt with it as a child. But that's really the only concrete memory I remember of that day, besides being in the room where they declared the person dead, I think? I don't remember. I remember I have two images. The car and the room. Not in that order. But that's mainly it. Don't remember anything else. No, I don't want to see them like that. Yeah, that's very that makes a lot of sense, yeah. You have to remember them as they were. And stuff. The 5th February. Dear future self, I know she won't come back. I knew it. And I tried to convince myself she was telling the truth regardless. I need a vacation and you need a break. I'll be home soon. Turns out that was a load of bullshit. Mom would have pointed to a blue sky and announced that it was red, and I would have just nodded my head in agreement. What the fuck is wrong with me? She doesn't have to puppet me. I've always bent and twisted myself to anticipate her every need. She called today and asked for her social. So I went into the filing cabinet and fetched it for her. Like a good daughter. When I asked her what she needed it for, I already knew the answer. Mom got an apartment 1,200 miles away. And her reason was simple. I'm protecting you. But after some questions, it changed. You're going to college. I'll be alone anyway. But then it transformed once again. You're too much to handle right now. Okay, great. That's all for now. I doubt she's calling again soon. She automated an allowance so I can't starve or miss any bills. Bye. Grief isn't a low. It's a terrifying high atop a mountain I never climbed. How am I supposed to make my descent? I cling to the first step, soft palms already stained red. Steep cliffs, terrifying and welcome me. The temptation of flight beckons. The crash, an afterthought. I think to jump, but I'm already falling. No one even noticed. An anchor to cling to, the bottom of this ocean. My soul's bleed on bedrock. As I grip this chain, I turn myself to the surface. There will be no light, but there's air. I will gulp it greedily. What the fuck was last night? I used to think movies were playing it up. I rolled my eyes when characters would throw their blankets and scream themselves awake. It seems exaggerated. Last night I clenched my fists so tight that my nails tore my palms. It's a good thing I have dark bedding. No bloodstains. At least I'm a quick thinker. It's fixed now. Trimmed nails. Sleeping pills. No more problems. Aww. That's horrifyingly sad. That's too happy. That means it was too happy. That means it was too happy! No! Stop it! The real monsters come out to play. The darkness under my bed found the bottom of the bottle. I want a deeper sleep. The dreams can't find me. I can't see Daddy anymore. He's torn up, blurred, rotting. Memories were a gift that the pain stole away. I didn't want to ease those moments. I dug so deep searching for him that I clawed my way into a world of nightmares. I reach for the flavors that taste like death and wonder when it will come to visit. A fiery inhale, ashy exhale, flooding my lungs with moonlight and build these walls. Final scribble I have unlocked is I missed the bitter kiss of I can't read cursive. I can't read that. Codian? Oh. I thought this was one word. My brain said this is a single word. All three of these words? Yeah, that's one word. I missed the bitter kiss of Codine on my tongue. It used to make my heart numb. It's a pretty kind of poison when I crush it with these memories. I haven't found anything strong enough to erase this overdose on missing you. I don't want to wish you away, but I can't stand to remember. Midnight hasn't blurred these ghosts. You can't be forgotten. But this stranger's sheets can hide me away for a while. I'm the only one that knows I'm here. One day we'll learn how to read cursive again. One day we'll figure out how to read cursive, and it's impossible. These being beside each other. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing putting these beside each other. They know what's up. They know what they're doing. Dang. And that was such a good story. That was such a good story. Very special. Why are you here? What are you doing here? I'm not here because it's Halloween, if that's what you're asking. I'm visiting, I guess. Smooth question coming off real friendly, Elle. Sorry, I phrased that poorly. I'm Elle, by the way. I'm Lucia. Whee! I decided that I shouldn't dump my experience on her. She has enough going on right now. I don't need to freak her out about dealing with complicated grief. I think so. It depends on how often you come here. If you're visiting on emotional days, it's going to be more difficult. I'd try visiting on normal days if I were you. Drop in or whatever. That's smart. Thanks for the advice. I guess today is technically one of those normal days. Halloween wasn't special with the Kate. Whee! Blue Rose. Whee! Let's just be the worst advisor ever. Let's be the worst advisor in the world. Spooky. Spooky, it's classic. She grins with an almost fiendish apology. I like how you think. Maybe I'll dress up as a witch. I can see her pulling off that look. Your hair is perfect for a witch costume. You could go for a real mystical vibe. You think so? Absolutely. Well, would you let me tell your fortune then? I show up casually. Sure, I'd love to get some insight. Lucia reaches to take my hand in her own. She studies it carefully, squinting with exaggerated focus. Evening. There are stars in the night sky. I see your head towards a house. She closes her eyes and yanks on my arm even harder. I nearly fall across the table. Hey, be careful. Shh! There's a crowd swirling capes and vibrant dresses. Oh! Drinks and candies are being passed around a colorful lit room. You'll arrive there very soon. I will? Lucia releases my hand from her grip and opens her eyes. So? Do you want to come to the party with me? Halloween party. Ah, trauma. Trauma! Ah! What's your Domino's? Thank you. Thank you. I promise I'll text you. I didn't notice how she felt about her dead sister. What am I accepting? The photo? No. As much as I'd love to indulge her, I know I can't handle it. Not today. Honestly, I think I'd cry if I did. Lucia nods understandingly. The lone box of photos I packed away in the basement linger in my mind. Dad never liked posing for photos. It was hard to find any real photos of him. He was always flipping off the photographer or hiding behind a pillow. I was lucky to have these few prom photos with him. I was happy to pose for pictures with me that day. It was special to him. I turned my attention back to the present, eager to escape the floodgate of memories. I'm sorry I was off my own thoughts. No. I think I need a break. I'm not saying never, but today isn't the right time for me to talk about this. Lucia shifts suddenly as she runs her fingers through her hair. Is she uncomfortable? Oh, I'm sorry. Please, don't apologize. I'm fine. But... Lucia hesitates. I'm not fine. I'm horrible. Lucia, please, let me explain. What could she possibly mean? I just had to hear her out. I was being selfish. I know it sounds weird, but I tricked you into coming here. She paused and stares cautiously, waiting for my reply. I don't understand. How did you trick me? When I brought that rose for your dad, I was focused on how you might be able to help me. The idea that you might understand how I felt, it drew me to you. But I've been pushy. Even manipulative. I thought I convinced you to go out for coffee. I could persuade you to open up. I wanted to dig up your wounds and understand my own. I used that rose to make you feel like you owed me. That was self-serving. I'm so fake. I shouldn't have done that. It was awful. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to say. What's wrong with me? I'm not that kind of person. Why do I risk hurting a complete stranger? I'm sorry, Al. Lucia, Please don't. I'm ashamed of myself. I won't bother you again. We should go. She grabs her purse and digs for her wallet. Whoa, this is new! Must be a horrible counselor. We're being horrible counselors. We're being horrible people today. Maybe you're right. Could you give me a ride home? Yes, of course. I wasn't going to leave you hanging. And here I was thinking you were already sick of me. The acid in my throat is unrestrained. Lucia runs her fingers through her hair anxiously. No, that's not it. I know it's not. But you're so focused on beating yourself up that you can't say how you actually hurt me. Lucia freezes in place. What? What else did I do wrong? It's your phrasing. I'm not a complete stranger. Maybe it's not the same for you, but I've already told you more about myself than anyone else in years. Minus therapists and doctors, but that doesn't count. What it took me to come here with you, knowing that we'd end up talking about death, that we might become friends. It took a lot of courage for me to leave the cemetery with you. I've been afraid to take chances or make connections. A fear of death has seeped into and stolen every moment of living joy since my dad died. It's paralyzing. Today was a leap, and I know I can't expect you to see that. It's true that we just met, but please don't call me a stranger. See us still in her seat. Al, there's a reason I called you a stranger. It's because otherwise, I have to admit how much I like you. I feel like you know me too well, especially since we only met today. You make me feel vulnerable, and that's scary. My breath catches in my throat. Like me? As soon as I found you sleeping, I wanted to know you. I could have kept walking to my car, but I didn't. I'm sorry that I simplified meeting you. You're not a stranger. You're my friend, I hope. If not now, I'd like to be friends someday. She's so sincere. How can someone be that easy to forgive? It's automatic, entirely without hesitation. I thought I was the type to hold a grudge. Guess I'm not when it comes to her. I think we're friends. Please know I'm not angry. But I do have an important question for you. You need to answer honestly. I will. Okay. You'll keep your promise, right? What did I promise? I glared at her. To text me once you drop me off. Lucia reaches for her phone and begins to tap away at the screen. You should texting me now. She asked suddenly. Oh shoot! I need to go soon, it's getting pretty late. If we stay much longer, you're going to miss your trick-or-treaters. You have the date with your leftover candy too. As I don't want to leave quite yet. I don't want to keep Lucia wait. We don't want to keep Lucia too late. We better go. I don't need kids egging my place. Plus, I don't want you missing that party. I think I'll skip out. It's been an interesting day. I can understand why she'd want to stay home. I hope you celebrate however you want to. Maybe I'll watch a scary movie. You like horror? Lucy instantly perks up. I love horror! More ghostly stuff, less blood and guts. Well, now we need it. Now we need to have a scary movie night. Embarrassment catches up to me. I mean, if you want to. Don't be so shy. I'd love to have a movie night. Let's make it a plan. Just text me when you're free. We'll figure it out. Great. Lucia waves to the waitress. Can we get the bill, please? Sure thing. Would you like to take out box for your leftovers? Yes, please. Okay, I'll be with you in a moment. As Witches heads back inside, Lucia reaches for her purse once again. I have my hand, motioning her to stop. What are you doing? I'd like to pay. No way! I invited you! I wink at her, hoping to make her blush. Let me pay. The way I can brag that it was the date. You can still brag. Just pick up the tab for our next coffee date. My heart flutters once against my ribs. Deal. Let's head out. Thanks for coming. Happy Halloween. With the bill paid, we cross the street and head towards Lucia's car. I can't skip any of this, by the way. All this is apparently new. Focusing on Lucia directs us to my neighborhood, although I can't help but wish we'd have more time together. I'm at number 235. Right here? Yeah, that's my place. Lucia pulls over and parks the car. As she switches off, I can't help but wonder what she's up to. I thought she'd just drop me off. Can I walk you to the door? I try not to sound over eager. Yes! Cringe. Cringe! She definitely noticed the break in my voice. Cringe! She could go softly. You're lucky I'm here to protect you from all the monsters. Little superheroes, princesses, and ghouls begin to trickle out into the streets, passing by houses without porch lights. I hurry up the steps and unlock my door. When I turn the key, I don't receive Lucia's eyes on my back. What, no goodbye? I stick on my tongue. You're not so worried. I'm not touching you just yet. Go back and pop the door open, hit the light switch, and watch as the dim orange glow flickers on. Are you sure you'll have any candy left after tonight? There are so many kids out. Don't worry, I have a secret stash with all my favorites. When it comes to candy, I always plan ahead. I like how you think. I smile back at her. Anxiety tugs at my chest, interrupting the moment. How can we say goodbye now? It feels like we were just starting to connect. Lucia fiddles with the strap across her shoulder. Is she nervous too? Elle? Yes? Would it be weird if she trails off? No, forget it. I desperately want to reach out to her, but do my best to resist. I don't know what her personal bubble is like. It's better to leave it be. Now you've got me curious. She stays still. Please, I'm dying to know what you were saying. Okay. Don't make fun of me, okay? I won't. Quit overthinking. You know what that means. Can I hug you, please? I'm taken aback by her polite shyness. I'm sorry. Please forget I ever asked. No, it's fine. I like a hug. Lucy wraps her arms around me in a warm embrace. She pulls me close. Closer than I expected. I want to see you again. My answer is instant. You will. Thank you for finding me, Lucia. I'm glad you did. Aww. That's so cute. This game is dedicated to the Oh! No! 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 Ah! Nothing new, but that's fine. Nothing new for being an asshole. Who would have thought? Dang. I did not need that fucking gut punch at the end. Lucia, wait. Huh? I'm not... I scramble for an excuse to stay. I'm not done my cheesecake yet. Oh, okay. I can wait. I look towards her untouched plate. Aren't you hungry? Aren't you hungry? A little. She can clearly see my excuse for what it is, but picks up her fork anyway. I've never had pumpkin cheesecake before. Is it good? Why don't you take a bite and see it for yourself? Oh, right. Good idea. I pop a forkful of cheesecake into my mouth. Flavors of pumpkin, cinnamon, and whipped cream swirl together to make up a dreamy autumn dessert. Well, what do you think? I swallow in a hurry and reach for another bite. It's amazing. I knew you'd love it. I think I have a new favorite kind of cake. Thank you for bringing me here today. The sea of reeds through my encouragement. It's no excuse for what I did. You see, I'm not here to make excuses. I just know that I'm not perfect either. Even years after losing my dad. Feeling lost is natural. It's okay to catch yourself doing things differently. Just see it for what it is. A hiccup. Learn the lesson and avoid repeating it. Hurting other people isn't a hiccup. Don't simplify it. Okay. Go ahead and beat yourself up forever then. Maybe you're looking for something new to hurt. What? Maybe it's easier to focus on hating yourself instead of feeling the real pain you're in. I understand why you'd want to focus on anything other than losing Kate. I didn't see it that way. I was prepared to focus on being manipulative and hating myself for it. I was ready to think about anything other than Kate's death. That's you subconsciously trying to cope. Although in a destructive kind of way. Yeah, I think you're right. Look, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my observations too seriously. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to seek out a therapist? I know it's not exactly affordable. But if you can manage, it's worth every penny. I'll talk to my parents about it. That's a good plan. Earlier, I was trying to tell you that it's okay to be upset. I was trying to accept your apology too. A smile posed at the corners of Lucia's lips, but she fights it. Thank you. I know today has been strange, but I do want to tell you about losing my dad. It's just that today isn't the right time for it. My past can't help but navigate this experience. I'd rather you focus on yourself right now. Stop worrying about me and start thinking about how you're going to handle the next few days. That's more important. I think I get it. I do have a question for you, if you don't mind. Sure. I don't mind. You give me a promise, right? And everything is the same, and it's dedicated to the dad. This game is good. Looks like someone brought you flowers. That was thoughtful. If I were to guess, I'd say it was Aunt Cora. She misses you. She tried so hard to be there for Mom after her accident. Nope. That's too much. I clear my throat and try to refocus on lighter thoughts. I guess I should give you an update on my life. You'll be happy to hear that I finished college. Just going to leave out the part where I nearly failed a dozen times. I studied tourism and hospitality. It seemed interesting enough. But a job in my field too. I work at the front desk of Spring Dream Suites. It's a starter job. It won't be there forever. Nice last words. I'd love to work at a resort in a tropic someday. Living on an island would be dreaming. I run my hands together, distractedly feeling frosty nip at my fingertips. Anywhere else warmer than here would be fine. I feel at a loss for what to say next. I did things with... Never mind. That's in the past. Didn't know him well anyway. I don't know what else to tell you. There are parts of my life that I wouldn't feel right about sharing. I'm holding back the negative side. It's not what I need to focus on. But I didn't realize how little good news I have. Dad? I'm trying to keep moving forward, but I feel like I'm all talk. I've made a lot of shitty choices, and I'm trying to leave them behind. I'm still making those choices, even if I try not to. I know I can't pretend like they never happened, but handling conversations about mistakes wasn't something I'm practiced at. A smirk pulls to the edge of my lips. Even if they're one-sided conversations. I know I don't get excuses either, but no one gets to prepare for sudden goodbyes. Anyway, I've been writing. Whee! Truth. Sexy. Dark topic of trauma. Sure. Let's see the picture of the sister. Ask her the question. I think I need a break. So break isn't... Okay. We do the hug again. Okay. The last two gallery items. Last two scribbles, as they're labeled. My daddy lives in a city of locked doors that face the sky. And when I knock, no one answers. In my hand, I grip a key that can't be thrown away. I'm sorry I can't see you right now, Daddy. I'm not ready for the door to lock behind me. I don't know what's on the other side. I shut my eyes to pull them closer. Exhale. I will hold him soon. If I let him go, despite... Does he know that I'm shaking to a lonely state? Does he know I'm shackled to a lone stone that raised a wall between life and death? Aww. This is a sad game. It's a sad game, but it's a good game. It's a lovely game. It tells a lovely story about dealing with grief in many different ways. It's good. It's lovely. I'm glad we got this ending first. Through being a good human being. Through being a good human being, we got this lovely ending. But also, the other endings weren't bad either. They were lovely. They were sad. They were healthy in a way. It's good. Oh, we have an hour left. We have an hour before the usual time of ending. I didn't know it'd be this short exactly, but it's good. It's a good length. I just wasn't that expected of it being this short. Like, I mean, I was gonna give it slightly longer, but that's fine. I think it was the right amount of time. It was the right amount of length for this type of story. Oh, I'm looking at the reviews real quick, and like, some people are like sharing stories and stuff. That's adorable. I saw, the first review I saw was someone sharing a bit of their story about the story. That's lovely. That's a good game. Came out not last year, 2 years ago. Yeah. This came out like 2 years ago on September 30th, 2022. Which, it's crazy to think that 2022 is so long ago, but also so short ago, you know? I like it. It's a good game. Hi, Woobs. We just stopped being sad. Welcome, Woobs. We just finished the sad game. A very sad game about loss, love, and loss. Mainly a lot of loss. We cried multiple times. Now we're just talking about it right now. We're talking about how sad the game was and how good it was as well. If you enjoy sad stories, I would recommend this. Let's give you a quick shout out. Wild. Oops. Forgot to type your name right. We're not gonna shout out someone else. But if you enjoyed story, it's a pretty short game. It took me about less than 3 hours. What? Less than 3 hours. I forgot I started a bit later because I was busy talking with my twin. But it's been less than 3 hours. Wow. And I also just like I didn't say every. I don't think I saw like every variable choice. There's probably like a few unread text boxes somewhere that I haven't seen, if any. Like, it's a good story. I do recommend it. This is Graveyard Girls. I recommend it. It's very good. It's a lovely story. I think it's important to talk about the subjects this game touches on. I forgot what the topics are. Well, let's look at the three ones real quick. Additional grief. The ones are strong language, mature humor, drug abuse. Also found mentions of suicide, alcohol use, of sexual terms. It is, it's a game. It talks about death. But it's sad in, like, the gut-wrenching way. But it's good. I recommend it. Give it a look. It's free on Steam. It's free on Steam. Give it a go. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. I guess I'm done. I guess the stream's done an hour earlier than usual because I don't know what else to do. I don't have anything else to fill in for an hour. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It doesn't have to take ages. I think it doesn't need to be long. Let me just make sure I turn off the background music in my other screen. Sorry. I'm trying to find buttons. I'm trying to find the folder labeled face music. Jeebus Christmas. Yeah, it's good to let this settle. We're not gonna have the upbeat music in the background. That's just jarring as fuck. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks, Whoops, for the raid. Sadly, it was ending when you raided, but thanks for the raid. Either way, what were you doing? I'm gonna check what you're doing. What were you doing? I'm gonna check. Oh, jeez. Give me a second. What were you up to? Tell me, Twitch. Tell me. Nordia! It's not telling me! Oh, Tomodachi Life. Ooh. What a good game. Tomodachi Life. Lovely. Hi, Olivia. Welcome. You returned in just in time for us to be ending the sadness. Stretch. For the stretch. I had a good time. I'm having a good night. If you're to head off, Rubes, don't feel free, you know, you can go. Look, Maple Doodle. Maple Doodle. Maple Doodle. Maple Doodle. It's gone now. It's gone now. Thanks for the raid. I hope you enjoyed Tomodachi Life. That's a very fun little game. I haven't played Tomodachi Life in a while. I think I played the original on, what was it, the DS? Yeah, I think I played on the DS. That was... It's a time what you can do in Tomodachi Life. It's quite a lot of things you can do in that game. But, yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. Tomorrow... I know tomorrow I'm gonna be doing some... I'm gonna bring some Muse Dash, going back to rhythm gaming. I've been craving rhythm games since the Genshin update came out. Well, rhythm games are fun. I'm gonna suffer once again through rhythm games and see how bad that is gonna go. Cause you remember how bad my my Unbeatable gameplay was. We're gonna see more of that type of gameplay. It's a tank control scheme, but no switching sides, just like still one side scheme, but still. That'll be fun tomorrow. But also excited. I'm excited for next week. Next week is a fun little week where I am going to be leaving for America on Tuesday. I'll still stream Sunday. I'll find something for next week, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of games. There's been a lot of good games coming out recently. A lot of good Sapphic games coming out, and I need to figure out which one I'm gonna do next. This one was a really good, one's been on like my playlist for a good bit. I talked about how I added my Switch wish list a while ago and found out that it was on Steam as well, and I'm glad I got to experience it at like not a bad time, you know. I just realized we've had 2 weeks in a row where we played a Sapphic Sunday game that dealt with death. Last week's was freaking Perfect Circle. Lol. Technically, last week was not just Perfect Circle. It was Circle for Love, but we also added in Perfect Circle because you know it was short. The last chapter was shorter than a normal gameplay. There are 2 different views. Yeah, well, yeah, 2 different views, but still dealing with death is important. Is still different views. It's you know. Doesn't elaborate. You know. But yeah, tomorrow Muse Dash. Unsure if there will be a stream tonight. We haven't talked about doing another lethal / content warning whatever on tonight, so I guess keep your eyes open for possible stream tonight at sometime at 10 p.m. EST. I'm not sure, but definitely tomorrow 3 p.m. EST I'll be doing some Muse Dash, and then I need to figure out what to do on Friday because I have no idea what I'm doing on Friday. Well, I think I have an idea. Nah, that's not long enough. That idea isn't long enough for a whole stream on Friday. So I gotta figure out something. I gotta figure out on Friday after work for that stream. But until then, we're gonna go say hello to a lesbian cat. Hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you all for hanging out, stopping by. Thank you once again, Whoops, for the raid. Sadly, it was at a point in time, but that's fine. I appreciate the raid either way, no matter how long or when the raid was timed. Thank you again. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go shower later in like half an hour, not after stream, because I have a schedule I like to keep. I have a schedule because I'm weird. I schedule my things. I schedule my food. But until then, I will hope you have a lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST for Muse Dash. Maybe tonight, not sure. But until then,